In this video, I'm going to show you guys the 6 rules for choosing lure colors. So before we get started, a couple quick considerations. 1. Not all fish see color. 2. Not all fish see color the same way. 3. Not all fish see UV color. Another consideration is that colors cannot be seen after dark. Colors appear in different shades of gray to black. And also it's good to remember that sight is just one of the senses that fish use to forage for food. Hearing, sight, touch, taste, smell are all senses that fish use to detect prey. So do some research on the individual types of fish that you are trying to target to get the max benefit out of this information. So onto the rules. Rule number 1. Use natural-looking, light-colored lures for clear water and/or sunny days. This is a match the hatch tactic, and you are mimicking the fish's natural food choices. Whether using minnows, worms, crayfish, shrimp, frogs, turtles, bugs, and crustaceans, etc., the goal is to match the color of these menu items as closely as you can. If you have no idea what the forage is or what color to use, focus on clear or opaque and green pumpkin soft plastics. Also lures that reflect sunlight, like silver or gold blade spinners or shiny crankbaits. Rule number 2. Use very bright or very dark colored lures for dirty water or cloudy days. The goal here is to contrast the color of the water. With high dirty water, a fish's vision and ability to smell is impaired, and therefore they rely more heavily on the vibration to detect their prey, but a brightly colored object in the water is likely to catch their eye and increase interest. Chartreuse, hot pink, white, orange, black, and fire tiger, as well as black, blue, purple, are all great for creating strong contrast in stained water or low light situations. So anything that's going to just really contrast the water. So if it just rained really hard and you've got chocolate milk looking water, that's when these really bright colors, the fire tigers, the pinks, things like that, chartreuse, those really stand out a lot more. White also is great in those conditions because it contrasts the color of the water a lot. Rule number 3. The idea here is to take matching the hatch to the next level. Being aware of the life cycle of your most common bait imitations will help you know when and where to use which imitation and what color variation. So, for example, if you are fishing crayfish imitations, you want to keep in mind what color the crayfish is as they change colors throughout the season from light browns to bright reds and blacks or blues. Egg imitations can range from white or yellow to hot pink and bright orange, as the actual eggs vary in color depending on how much time they have spent in the water, what type of egg or which species it comes from, and many other factors. There are different fly hatches during different seasons, and each hatch looks different during its various stages, and therefore the hot bug patterns are always changing. So the more you can be aware of what you're trying to imitate and what the fish are actually foraging for, this will help you key in on the finer details. Rule number 4 is to trigger the fish. This works well with territorial fish and fish that are pre through post spawn. Sometimes the goal is to anger the fish rather than tricking it into eating. The goal is instead to provoke its aggressive nature. In this situation, you want to use obnoxious bright colors, anything that resembles a threat to the fish's territory. Arguably, genetic predispositions exist towards certain colors. Some people believe that steelhead like pink because they naturally feed on shrimp in their historical habitat. I believe pink and orange and chartreuse triggers their instincts to eat other fish's eggs. There is lots of evidence supporting the fact that bass love the color red, and tackle shops will sell lots of red hooks because of this belief that it triggers their aggression. Red throats on jerkbaits mimic wounded baitfish, and predators always like an easy target. Alright, so rules 5 and 6 deal with night fishing. So rule number 5, use black, purple, or dark blue lures. The theory is that these colors provide a more distinct profile when silhouetted against the lighter background of the water's surface. So that takes a minute to kind of think about and digest. So here is a illustration to help with that. Imagine a deer in headlights. All it sees is the bright light, but if you stood in between the car and the deer, there would be an absence of light, where your body blocks the light which would make you visible to the deer. I think this is why top water at night is popular, because the surface disturbance along with the contrast of the lure against the moonlight proves very effective. Okay, rule number 6. On the flip side, colors like chartreuse and white reflect moonlight as well as artificial light found in cities or public parks and dams, making them more visible to the fish's eye. And this is also very true with fishing below dams and things where it's a well-lit area because you got, parking lot lights or whatever. All that extra light hitting the water is just creating that same effect as the moon, but it makes it easier to create a stronger contrast because there's a brighter light that's more noticeably being blocked out by the lure that's in between the light source and the fish. So there you have my 6 rules for choosing lure colors. I hope this helps you in your journey and gives you a little more confidence when you go out and you look at the conditions. Okay, what's the sun doing? How does the water clarity look? Okay, based on those 2 factors, I'm going to do this or that. That is my goal in doing this video for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more educational fishing videos, and if you can think of anything that I left out of this that's important, feel free to throw that in the comments. Thank you.